Hi, I'll be reading the book Bridge to Terabithia. Reading this book, Bridge to Terabithia. Bridge to Terabithia. Chapter 1. Jesse Oliver Aaron's Jr. Ballroom. Ballroom. Baripity. Baripity. Good. His dad had the pickup going. He could. Get up now. Just slid out of bed and into his overalls. He didn't worry about a shirt because once he began running, he would be hot as popping grease, even if the morning air was chill or shoes, because the bottoms of his feet were by now as tough as his worn-out sneakers. Where are you going, Jess? Mary barely lifted herself up sleepily from the double bed where she and Joycey Ann slept. Shh! He warned. The walls with him. Mama would be mad as flies in a fruit jar if they woke her up this time of day. He patted Mary Bella's hair and yanked the twisted sheet up to her small chin. Just over the cow field, he whispered. Mary Bella smiled and snuggled down under the sheet. Gonna run? Maybe. Of course he was going to run. He had gotten up early every day all summer to run. He figured if he worked at it, and Lord, had he worked, he could be the fastest runner in the 5th grade when school opened up. He had to be the fastest, not one of the fastest or next to the fastest, but the fastest, the very best. The very best. He tiptoed out of the house. The place was so rattly that it screeched whenever you put your foot down, but Jess had found that if he tiptoed, it gave only a low moan, and he could usually get outdoors without waking Mama or Ellie or Brenda or Joycey Ann. Mary Bella was another matter. She was going on 7, and she worshipped him, which was okay sometimes. When you were the only boy smashed between four sisters, and the older two had despised you ever since you stopped letting them dress you up and wheel you around in the rusty old doll carriage, and the littlest one cried if you looked at her cross-eyed. It was nice to have somebody who worshipped you, even if it got unhandy. Sometimes he began to trot across the yard. His breath was coming out in little puffs, cold for August, but it was early yet. But by noontime, when his mom would have him out working, it would be hard enough. Miss Bessie stared at him sleepily as he climbed across the scrape heap, over the fence and into the cow field. Moo, she said, looking for all the world like another Mary Belly with her big brown droopy eyes. Hey, Miss Bessie, Jess said soothingly. Just said sleeplessly. Just go on back to sleep. Miss Bessie strolled over to a greenish patch Most of the field was brown and dry, and yanked up a mouthful. That's a goal. Just eat your breakfast. Don't pay me no mind. No mind. He always stared. He always started at the northwest corner of the field, crunched over like the runners he had seen on wide world of sports. Bang, he said, and took off flying around the cow field. Miss Bessie strolled toward the center, still following him with her droopy eyes, chewing slowly. She didn't look very smart, even for a cow, but she was plenty bright enough to get out of Jesse's way. His straw-colored hair flapped hard against his forehead, and his arms and legs flew out every which way. He had never learned to run properly, but he was long-legged for a 10-year-old, and no one had more grit than he. Lock Creek Elementary was short on everything, especially athletic equipment, so all the balls went to the upper grades at recess time after lunch. Even if a fifth grader started out the period with a ball, it was sure to be in the hands of a sixth or seventh grader before the hour was half over. The older boys always took the dry center of the upper field for their ball games, while the girls claimed the small top section for hopscotch and jump rope and hanging around talking. So the lower grade boys had started this running thing. They would all line up on the far side of the lower field where it was either muddy or deep crusty ruts. Or Watson, who was no good at running but had a big mouth, would yell bang, and they'd race to a line they told across at the other end. One time last year, Jesse won. Not just the first seed, but the whole shebang, only once. But it had put into his mouth a taste for winning. Ever since he'd been in first grade, he'd been that crazy little kid that draws all the time. But one day, April the 22nd, a drizzly Monday, it had been. He went ahead of them all. The red mud sloshing up through the holes in the bottom of his sneakers. For the rest of that day and until after lunch on the next, he had been the fastest kid in the third, fourth, and fifth grades, and he had only a fourth grader. On Tuesday, Wayne Petties had won again as usual, but this year Wayne Petties would be in the sixth grade. He played football until Christmas and baseball until June with the rest of the big guys. Anybody had a chance to be the fastest runner, and by Miss Bessie. This year it was going to be Jesse Oliver Owens Jr. Just pumped his arms harder and bent his head for the distant fence. He could hear the third grade boys scream. The the great boys screaming him on. They would follow him. They would follow him around like a country music star, and Mary Bailey would pop her buttons. Her brother was the fastest, the best. That ought to give the rest of the first grade something to chew their cuds on. Even his dad would be proud. Jesse rounded the corner. He couldn't. He couldn't keep going quite so fast, but he continued running for a while. It would build him up. Mary Bailey would tell Daddy so it wouldn't look as though Jesse was a bragger. Maybe Dad would be so proud he forget. Be so proud he forget all about how tired he was from the long drive back and forth to Washington and the digging and hauling all day. He would get right down on the floor and whistle the way they used to. Only Dad would be surprised at how strong he gotten in the last couple of years. His body was begging him to quit, but Jesse pushed it on. He had to let the puny chest of his know who was boss. Jess, it was Mary Bailey yelling from the other side of the scrap heap. Mama says you gotta come in now and eat now. Leave the milking till later, old cousin. He'd run too long. Now everybody would know. He'd been out and start in on him. Yeah, okay, he turned, still running, and headed for the scrap heap. Without breaking his rhythm, he climbed over the fence, scrambled across the scrap heap, thumped Mary Bailey on the head, out, and trotted on to the house. Well, he looked at the big Olympic star, said Ellie, banging 2 cups onto the table so that the strong black coffee splashed out, sweating like a knock-kneed mule. Just pushed his damp hair out of his face and plunked down on the wooden bench. He dumped 2 spoonfuls of sugar into his cup and slurped to keep the hot coffee from scaling his mouth. Oh, Mama, he stinks. Brenda pinched her nose with her pinky crooked delicately. Make him wash. Get over here to the sink and wash yourself, his mother said, without raising her eyes from the stove, and step on it. These squirts are scorching the bottom of the pot already. Mama, not again, Brenda whined. Lord, he was tired. There wasn't a muscle in his body that didn't ache. You heard what Mama said, Ellie yelled at his back. I can't stand it, Mama, Brenda said. Make him get his smelly self off this bench. Jesse put his cheek down on the bare wood of the tabletop. Jesse, his mother was looking now, and put on a shirt. Yes, ma'am. He dragged himself to the sink. The water he flipped on his face and up his arms pricked like ice. His hard skin crawled under the cold drops. Mary Bailey was standing in the kitchen door watching him. Get me a shirt, Mary Bailey. She looked as if her mouth was set to say no, but instead she said, you shouldn't ought to beat me in the head, and went off obediently to fetch his t-shirt. Good old Mary Belly. Joycey Annie would have been screaming yet from that little tap. 4-year-olds were a pure pain. Or pure pain. I got plenty of I got plenty of chores needs doing around here this morning, his mother announced as they were finishing the grits and red gravy his mother was from Georgia and still cooked like it. Oh, Mama, Ellie and Brenda squawked in concert. Those girls could get out of a walk faster than grasshoppers. Could slip through your fingers, Mama. You promised me and Brenda we could go to Millsburg for school shopping. You ain't got no money for school shopping, Mama. We are just going to look around. Lord, he was Brenda would stop whining so Christmas. You don't want us to have no fun at all. Any fun, Ellie corrected her primly. Shut up. Ellie ignored her. Missy Timmons is coming by. To pick us up. I told Lolly Sunday you said it was okay. I feel calling her and saying you changed your mind. Oh, all right. But I ain't got no money to give you. Any money. Something whispered inside Jessie's head. I know, Mommy. We would just take the $5 Daddy promised us. No more than that. What $5? Oh, Mama, you remember. Ellie's voice was sweeter than a melted Mars bar. Daddy said last week we girls we're going to have to have we're going to have something for school. Oh, take it, his mother said angrily, reaching for a collected vinyl purse on the shelf by the stove. She counted out 5 wrinkled bills. Mama, Brenda was staring again. Can't we have just one more so it will be 3 each? No, Mama, you can't buy nothing for $2.50. Just one little pack of notebook papers gone up to no. Ellie got up noisily and began to clear the table. Your turn to wash, Brenda, she said loudly. Ah, Ellie. Ellie jabbed her with a spoon. Jessie saw that look. Brenda, shut up her wine halfway out of her rose Lust lipstick mouth. She wasn't as smart as Ellie, but even she knew not to push Mama too far. Which left Jessie to do the work as usual. Mama never sent the babies out to help, although if he worked it right, he could usually get Mary Belly to do something. He put his head down on the table. The running had done him in this morning. Through his top ear came the sound of the TIMMONS old Buick. Want oil, his dad would say, and the happy buzz of voices outside the screen door's alley, and Brenda squished in among the 7. TIMMONSES. All right, Jessie, get your lazy self off that bench. Miss Miss Bessie's bag is probably dragging ground and by now. And you still got being stupid lazy. He was the lazy one. He gave his poor dead way his poor dead weight. Fate up ahead. One more minute on the tabletop. On the tabletop. Jessie, okay, Mama, I'm going. I'm going. It was Mary Bella who came to tell him in who came to tell him in the bean patch that people were moving to the old Perkins place down on the next farm. Jesse wiped his hair out of his eyes and squinted. So enough, a U-Haul was parked right by the door. One of those big jointed ones. These people had a lot of junk, but they went in last. The Perkins place was one of those ratty old country houses you move into because you had no decent place to go and moved out of as quickly as you could. He thought later how particular it was that here was probably the biggest thing in his life, and he had shrugged it off as nothing. The flies were buzzing around his sweating face and shoulders. He dropped the beans into the bucket and swatted with both hands. Get me my shirt, Mary Bella. The flies were more important than any U-Haul. Mary Bella jogged to the end of the row and picked up his T-shirt from where it had been discarded earlier. She walked back, holding it with two fingers way out in front of her. Oh, it stings, she said, just as Brenda would have. Shut up, he said, and grabbed the shirt away from her. Okay, that's the end of chapter 1. Bye-bye.